and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for unboxing and review, and this is a Chateau Luxuries Chateau pen. So I think let's unbox this pen. It comes in this lovely outer box. And you can see here it has the Chateau Luxuries Chateau pen logo here, burnished into what is effectively a Polina box. If I remove the lid here, you will see that you get a Chateau guarantee card there, and the material on this pen is guaranteed for a period of 2 years. You also get this lovely silk single pen kimono there as well, which is very nice. Now this pen is on loan to me from John at stjohnspens.com. I'd like to thank John for the loan of this pen for review. This pen is going back to John, so you will be able to buy this pen from his website if you wish. I'm not going to list the price here because prices do vary. It is also a sold out edition, but this is the Chateau prototype Urushi Tamenuri Fade, and this is from Bryant at Chateau Luxuries. So I think let's remove the box and I'll show you this in a little bit more detail. But this is a beautiful Tamenuri like finish, and it does have that fade approach in here that you can see, which I do actually think is quite nice. So I think we will just take a little bit more of a look in detail at this pen. It comes with this gold clip here. It is a cigar-shaped pen, cylindrical. You can see there it comes to a point here on the tip of the cap, so it tapers in. It tapers out to what normally would be the cap band here, but there isn't a cap band, and I think it's actually better without a cap band because this is a Urushi lacquered pen. There's a slight step down, and then it tapers down here to what would be the end cap or blind cap, which it tapers in quite a lot. If I unscrew the cap here, you'll see it does have a Chateau, and it is an 18 karat gold fine nib there. And you'll see there it does have, I believe that is an ABS plastic feed, although it does look a little bit more like ebonite. There isn't actually a mention on the Chateau Luxuries website. It does come with a cartridge converter. It does have metal threads here, so you're not going to be able to eyedropper this pen, but it has a slight step down here with some very wide threads, but the section is quite nice, quite comfortable to hold this pen. Now you'll know that I don't normally post my caps. This isn't my pen, so I'm just going to post it lightly. It will post, but it doesn't look as though it's that secure. Most of the time Urushi pens are really not designed to be posted. So with that said, I wouldn't, if this was my pen, be posting this on a day-to-day basis. And I know a lot of people have said to me in the past, but Dave, Urushi is a extremely hard lacquer. It's not going to scratch. Well, it has the hard, on the hardness scale, it is around about the same hardness as glass, and you can scratch glass. It will take a little bit more to scratch it, but you can scratch glass. So I personally would not be posting the cap on this, but you can see here it is a pretty good size in the size of my hand here. I do love Urushi pens. It does have this spring-loaded cap there, which is almost sort of reminiscent of, I would say, Sailor or Tatcha pens. They typically do have those. Sometimes I think a few Danny Trios I have may have that as well. Certainly Estabrooks have it, but I think this is quite a nice pen, and it's called the Tamenuri Fade because there is this fade from like a brighter, or maybe a mid red to a dark, to a light red to a dark, and again to a medium red there. But this is quite a nice pen, so I'm really glad that John loaned me this pen for review, and I will be sending this pen back to him. Unfortunately, I would actually like to buy this. I do like Tamenuri pens, but I am holding out for a few other pens. So I think in that mind, this will have to go back to John, although I will be talking to him about a price possibly on this pen, because it is a really, really nice pen. But if I don't buy it, then it will be available from his website. So I think with that, let's do a size check. We'll do a weight check. We'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 158 millimeters in length. So this is an oversized pen for sure. The length of the cap, we are looking about 70 millimeters in length. So that is also quite a long cap. And if we try to look at the length of the pen to the tip of the nib or tip of the tines, we are looking about 138 millimeters in length. So as I said, this is quite a long pen. And you can certainly see that in the size of my hand there. I think let's now go and do a weight check. So this is uninked, and we are looking at just over or just under 30.5 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we're looking at just over 11.5 grams in weight. And then the weight of the body, we are looking at just under 19 grams in weight. So it's not a heavy pen, but it's also not one of the lightest pens that I have come across. But it really is a beautiful pen. And just look at the colouring of this Tamenuri in this Tamenuri Fade material. I really do think this is actually quite a nice looking pen. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra in the wild. We have a Wild Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the wild. A Wild Eversharp Decoband Oversize, and this is in the jade. We have a Wild Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Positano Blue. An Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra. This is the Chasley Luxuries Wild West. We have the Chateau Prototype Urushi Tamenuri in the Fade. We have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra in the Black Luchance. An Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra Arco Brown. A Omas Milord, and this is in the wild. We have also a Omas Arte Italiana Paragon Grande in the Arco Brown. So I think let's now go and do a writing sample. This is the Chateau. Prototype. Urushi in the Tamenuri Fade. And this is a fine, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here today is Diamine, and it is Poppy Red. Now, in terms of line variation, let's just take a look. I would definitely say that this is writing more like a Western fine, which is correct. If I apply a little bit of pressure, I'm not going to apply any more because this is not my pen or nib. You can get a little bit more pressure out, but I would say this is quite a stiff nib. It really isn't going to flex much. And I think you can see there that you can almost get a medium out of it, but not quite. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. So it's quite a wet pen, but not a fire hose of a nib. And to be honest, I do like that, even though I'm a little bit more partial to fire hose wet nibs. I do typically also like a nib that isn't too dry, but is possible to write in my notebook or notepad without having to wait for the ink to dry for maybe 3, 4, or 5 minutes. What do I like? What do I not like about this pen? Well, it is Urushi. I love Urushi. It's Tamenuri or Aka Tamenuri, which I like as well. It's a long pen and it's a girthy pen, and I like long and girthy pens as well. So this pen really is right up my alley or street. I do like the look of this pen. I think the fading that has been done in the Aka Tamenuri is quite nice. Sometimes it's nicer to have it more plain, and sometimes it's nicer to have it in a little bit of a fade like this one. What do I dislike about the pen? There really isn't anything that I would dislike about it. I think if I were buying this pen, I'd probably prefer it in a medium nib because I'm typically more of a medium nib guy. It's just my personal preference. I do use fine nibs, and I would get away with using this as a fine nib if I were to buy this pen from John at St. John's Pens. So I'd like to thank John from stjohnspens.com for loaning me this pen for review. If you want to check out this pen or other pens that he may have, you can check him out at stjohnspens.com or at St. John's Pens on Instagram. John also goes to a lot of the UK and European shows, and now the US shows as well in 2023 and 2024. So if you want to check him out at a US pen show as well, then you can probably check him out at some of the more well-known larger pen shows in the US. So there you have it. That's my review and unboxing of the Chateau Prototype Urushi Tamenuri Fade with a fine 18-karat gold nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.